What's up, guys? We're here pre-BJJ routine with Renee Sosa and Dr. John from Mobility Doc.
That's right. We're going to show you what you need to do to be ready so that way you do not submit yourself before you get on the mat.
And if you pop, stop.
So this first movement you're going to do is going to be an arm sweep. You'll do about like 10 reps on each side, sliding the hand up and down, trying to keep the top leg over, back leg straight.
Why I like this so much is because I feel like it really engages my lower back right here.
Well, yeah, lower back and hip. Yeah, sure.
Right here. Like I think a good detail with this that you guys emphasize is that I don't have to put my foot on the ground right here. Like I can kind of extend my leg. Oh my gosh. Kind of extend my leg there, and it really like gives you such a full body. Like just literally, like I feel like in jiu-jitsu people are so lazy to stretch. Like literally lay on your back and pull one leg to the side, extend it. Right, you can kind of support it with this outside hand, and then should my head be looking over this side?
It'll follow as your hand sweeps up along the floor. Your neck will like turn with the hand. Exactly.
And then come back down?
And you can let your neck actually like rest on the ground, so you're not like straining through the front of it.
Good. And then what, like 5 each side?
Yeah, 5 to 10 each side. Go based on like how you're feeling as it's loosening up.
And then as this is loosening up, right, our hand is looking to get like close to the ground.
Yep, exactly.
Okay, cool.
So you'll find that it's
popping.
Yeah.
Should I stop?
No, that pop you don't have to stop with.
Okay.
That pop you need to do more of this with.
Ouch.
Yeah, this side's tight. So this is why you're doing this, because you don't want someone to grab a hold of your arm and then like you're already thinking like I better tap because my shoulder is tight and I don't want them to like put it any further.
Yeah, and I think this is really good to open up, right? Like your lat and your shoulder.
Yeah.
Because in jiu-jitsu, right, like a lot of time, like we're just seated like this.
Yeah, everything gets like really exactly. You gotta like balance it out.
That was fun.
Let's go into the Brettzel 1.0.
Okay.
So the next movement you're gonna do is a Brettzel, where you kind of get into a similar position. Exactly, that heels towards your butt, this leg's back, arms pulling this down, that shoulder's getting over to the side.
Should be on the floor?
Yeah, if you can. Yep.
No way.
Yep. And then while you're
oh my gosh,
while you're doing that, you're like, as you're breathing through it, you're getting this hip lower and lower. So this is a good one too, because it's like a stretch for everything. There's like hip flexor, glute, low back, thoracic spine, shoulders, like everything stretches a little bit. You would do
what, 30 seconds?
Yeah, like 30 seconds or like, a bunch of breaths in and out. And then like as you feel it like releasing and relaxing, then you're switching.
So when I'm here, I'm pushing my foot in, and then should I be like engaging my hip at the same time? This hip?
Yeah, like that bottom hip. Yeah, if you want to think of it like you're like trying to extend through your glute or like, exactly. Yep, so you can get like a little squeeze on the hip that's on the ground, kind of like squeezing your glute a little bit.
Yeah.
Same thing on the other side.
And see, like this is pretty easy, right? Like even for people that like don't want to do a crazy warm up before jiu-jitsu, like just simple.
Yeah, exactly. You don't need any kind of like special instruments or tools. You don't need a whole lot of space. You don't need a whole lot of time.
Yeah, you don't need to flail your body in like all these random.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, we've been talking a lot about primers.
Yeah.
This isn't necessarily a primer, but this is definitely like a solid warm up. However, and it's specific too, so it's not. You're right. We're not just flailing like
Conor McGregor.
Yeah, Conor McGregor or the wacky inflatable arm tube man.
Yeah, outside your local used car dealer.
Yeah, exactly. So after you've gone through this one, the next one we do is the thoracic rotation. Okay. So you can even stay in that side, let that leg go straight. This arm's gonna come over, and then you're going to kind of bring this arm over this way and stretch through like that, and then you're gonna come back. So with this one, you're gonna actually get some movement, and you're gonna twist through your trunk as well as moving your arm at the same time. There you go, perfect. And with this you do, again, it could be like 5 to 10 reps. You'll do both sides because it's important not to like miss an opportunity to like improve on either side, or also get like a sense of like, oh, okay, my left is much worse than my right. And this is the side that was bothering you?
Yeah. Just tighter.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and that's all it really is many times. But again, We don't want to submit yourself, right? You don't want to feel tight before you get on the mat.
Right.
And you're going to need to like maybe like move your shoulder out of a position. And if you can't move it, you're going to get trapped.
Right.
Yep.
Oh, this side feels so tight now.
So is my hand staying?
Palms up, yeah.
Palms up, okay.
Exactly. But you could see how different these two sides are, because like this hip's a little tighter on you, but this shoulder is definitely more flexible for you.
Yeah.
Because you could like pretty much lay it flat.
It's pretty crazy.
And a lot of this is like sidedness. It's not always like anything more than just uniqueness of how you've been moving one side versus the other. All right, so after like 5 to 10 of those, we're gonna get into one of your favorites, which is the Brettzel 2.0. So now we're gonna start stretching through the hips a little bit. Perfect, yep. Yeah, so you can tell Renee's a pro at this one. So we have like extra video inside our YouTube breaking down the Brettzel itself and all of these movements. But for this, you can kind of see that Renee starts with this leg rotated in this direction, this leg rotated this way, and then he's like resting over into the far side. So he's getting like, and he's gonna engage or squeeze through this glute, like kind of like pop that hip like forward. Yep, exactly. And so where do you feel all this?
I feel it mostly right here.
Good, exactly. That's what we're going for. This is another like 30-second or so stretch, and exactly like what you're doing is right. Like you can like kind of rotate.
Twist your trunk a little bit.
Exactly. Yeah, and you want to ease your way in and out of this. Again, you're breathing through this. You're getting your, like in this case, especially like your hips ready, because ideally part of your game is going to involve using your hips, right? How's this side feel? Any different?
This side feels tighter for sure. Right here.
Yep, and that's what you're going for. Yep, and Renee's thinking about like squeezing this top leg, this glute, so that way he's kind of like popping that hip forward, which is going to increase the amount of stretch through here. And then as he can, he's like, again, he's like kind of leaned over to this far side and twisting a little bit. And we'll all look a little different depending on how flexible these different parts are. We started though with like shoulders, and then shoulders and back and hips. Now we're focusing a little bit more on hips, so we're working our way down the body.
Pretty easy though, right? Nothing crazy like.
Yeah. If it's crazy, it's not right. Like crazy warm up is not going to be helpful. We need something that's just like methodical and purposeful. From this, after about 30 seconds, we're going to do windshield wipers with the hips. So.
Do you put your foot up before you go, or?
Actually, I just let it kind of drop over. Yep.
And then you put it up, or?
Yep. Yeah.
Do you need to put it up? Or?
You don't need to, no.
Okay, so you can just go like this.
Exactly, and yeah.
I think I can do that.
No, this is okay because.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah. You don't have to put the foot up.
Oh, no way. It can be.
No, and like actually, what's like really tough with this is try to focus on not even letting this glute come off the ground. So only go, go so far as you can while keeping your
keep my butt on the ground.
Yeah, exactly.
What?
Yep.
No way.
Yeah.
This is how far I could go.
Yeah. Well.
To keep this on the ground.
Yeah, exactly. And you can get a little rotation, like it can come up a little bit, but exactly, like the focus is not like the focus. The focus is in your hip, not necessarily in your spine for this.
Okay, so.
Yeah, exactly.
It's already off the ground.
And with this, you can hold certain aspects or parts of it, but what I kind of like to do is have the person move a little bit, coming in and out, maybe like 10 total repetitions, possibly 20. It just kind of depends.
How I usually do it is just like this, but this is so off.
Here, work that butt back, and then let this leg come here. Let this drop just this way. And then if I come in here, do you get any stretch on the inside of the?
Yeah, now a little bit more.
Yeah. So like, if you let like the leg a little bit straight or bent at 90 degrees at the knee, you can get a little bit more into the groin itself.
Now feel that more into like the hip pocket.
Exactly,
So instead of being so tight like this, let this fall a little bit and kind of just like, is that external rotation?
Technically you're doing internal rotation, yeah. Yeah, so that's why I like this. It's a good internal rotation stretch.
Yeah, I feel that. And that kind of like relieves some of the pressure on like that like nerve pain we talk about that that people get sometimes.
Yeah, so it's, like, you could certainly do some holds. You can move back and forth like a windshield wiper. So we've worked our way down. Now we're getting a little bit more of like hamstring and calf. This, which we kind of call like a sprinter stretch, because it looks like he's like in the blocks about to like take off. You're gonna like focus on that front knee, and you're gonna bend it and extend it through. And when you're doing that, you're essentially loosening up and flossing that hamstring and calf and all things that are like in that area. So everything in the back of the thigh essentially is stretching. Yep, so you'll do like 10, you could always do more, but you're gonna do about 10 repetitions, breathing in and out.
It really feels like you're snapping your own leg.
Yes, but don't submit yourself.
It feels really tight, but I think a big thing that you guys say is to not hang out there, right?
Yeah.
Extend, boom. Back.
Exactly. It's a good. I'm glad you said that, because it's important for this one. Don't just hold it. Come in and out and let it like slowly.
And play with this back knee too, right? Like keep this straight and then kind of like lean into it a little bit.
Yeah.
Just.
Yeah, you can sort of you can play around with like how you like to hold the back leg, as long as you're like focusing on that front leg and where you're feeling.
That's what I'm saying, because sometimes like I'll stay straight like this and I'll be bouncing back and forth, and sometimes I'll bend my knee. I'll kind of like sit back like this.
Yeah, sure. It gets a little fancy with it.
Because I'm getting obviously mostly this hamstring, but I'm obviously getting my opposite side calf as well.
Yeah. If you focus on keeping that heel down like that, sometimes dropping the knee.
Yeah.
Exactly. You'll get a little bit of both. Finally, coming down towards like the foot and ankle, what we're doing is this like dorsiflexion stretch where Rene is like mobilizing his foot and ankle, so that way he has full range of motion and full control over it as he needs to like move it in various ways. Or if someone again is grabbing hold of it, you don't have any like stiffness or tightness that's going to cause you to have to like give up even faster because you feel anxious or concerned.
Should I be going like straight on with it, or should I be looking for like a little bit of like
you're gonna work
circular?
Yeah, all of that. It's because what I want you to do is like find like different corners of tightness and pockets of it. You don't want to drop your like knee so far over the inside of it. Exactly. Yeah. But you should play in like little circles, get like different angles with the knee coming forward, over to the side. And the reason why Renee's holding his heel down a little bit is so that way it doesn't just lift up and then he doesn't actually like stretch the ankle. Yeah, exactly. Because if his heel comes up, he's not actually really mobilizing. Let's try the same thing with the other side.
This foot is pretty bad, so that felt really good.
Good. So again, you can think of it as repetitions. You can think of it as time. You're going to spend though maybe like, a couple minutes on each side playing around with like the angles and the corners and the circles that you're going through. And essentially when you get through this final step, we've like systematically worked through everything from like the like neck and shoulder all the way down to his ankle. So, this might be maybe in total like a 10-minute warm up once you're finally like used to the flow of it. But if you do this before you get on the mat and start rolling, you're going to feel more like limber and able to access all of the positions and postures you need when you're practicing or when you're competing.
Yeah.
This guy's mission is to
buggy choke the world.
And our mission is to help you to keep going and never have to stop.
Because you're not average. Why would your care be?
Exactly. And go with
flow with the go.
Flow with the go.
Peace and love, guys.